What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm actually in the middle of working on the Turbo CRX, but a friend just called me and told me that they're going to be doing some hood rat stuff tonight. So that means I'm going to have to detour myself a little bit towards the wagon. So the last video you guys saw of the wagon, we went to Mexico and we had a I don't know why I'm going to the left side of the car. We went to Mexico and we had a great time, but I started losing my third and fourth gear because of the shift cable bindage, and I don't know which video you guys should have seen, but we tried to situate the shifter and we can't seem to find a solution until I take the turbo kit apart to go through the firewall. I think that's the only solution for me to get my third and fourth shift to work. Look, where's my fourth gear at? There it is. So I want to take the car out tonight, and that means I got to situate the shift cables in order to have a great time. Now my driveway is full, but I'm gonna kick this car off to the side a little bit just so I can have some shade to tinker with it a little bit. Gotta move it up before the car gets too hot, because I really want to have fun again tonight. In the shade. So as I was saying before, the shift cables used to go through the firewall and then over the subframe around to the transmission, but because I put all the heater core and everything back in, and I routed a lot of like cables and hard lines through that same hole, I had to reroute the shift cables through the passenger side right there, which then puts the cable in a bind. So from the shifter, it has a sharp 90, and then it has a sharp 90 back going towards the transmission. I think that 90 is where the bind is at, and that's where the cable housing is starting to break apart. I'm gonna go on the passenger side and really look at the firewall to see if there's another like section I can route the cable through, and then I want to take off the turbo kit so we can cut the hole, reroute the cables, and hopefully fix the issue. All right, so I got jack stands, I got a jack holding the car up, and I'm just underneath the car to see what kind of spacings we have. So if you look right there, that is the hole where the cable originally ran through. But if you look, there's the power cable for the starter, the alternator, there is another harness for the O2 sensor, and then there's the fuel hard line. Now that's pretty much taking up like half the hole, and I can't put the cable through it because of the bulkiness. And I was just kind of like looking at my options of going through the floorboard, but I didn't want it to be too close to the drive shaft, right? But I want to say we have about 4 inches from the floorboard to the drive shaft, so I can always zip tie it out of the way. Now snaking the cable past the sway bar is probably going to be the hard part, also because of the bulkiness, but I'm really just trying to find my options here. I could take off the sway bar and cut that hole right here bigger to run the cables through, but it's going to require some work and precision cutting because I don't want to cut the stuff that's already in that hole. All right, well, I guess I'm just gonna find out the best solution and tackle it. So I am gonna drill the hole in the floorboard. I really don't have another choice. I have to take off my cable first though, but I'm just trying to get some reference points here, and I kind of want to shoot for right here, so that way we're not getting too close where my brake lines are at. Right, so using this hole right here as a reference point, it looks like we have up to 4 inches before we get to the other half of the firewall. If you guys don't know, my car is right-hand drive converted, so the firewall seam to the body floorboard is right here, and that right there is the seam sealer. So from this hole we have 4 inches to that line, and I think I'm gonna try to shoot for where this hole is at currently. You see it? I'm gonna drill a hole right there to run the cable through it and then go up to the subframe. I don't have to drill a really huge hole. This is a 2-inch hole saw. I just need the hole big enough to fit this bulky end of the cable through, whichever side I decide to slip through, and also not bigger than the grommet, so that way we can use the grommet to cover up the hole to ensure stuff is not going to fly into the car. The drive shaft is taken off and I got plenty of space down here. I didn't realize that the hole is actually right there. So technically I can just put the drill right in the center of that hole and drill the hole out. Hopefully that goes as simple as it sounds. Let's drill it. That was literally a plug to something. Got my old cables out, and where I had the first bind from the shifter box, it turns right here 90 degrees before it goes to the firewall. Look at this. Shattered, dude. Shattered all around. That's pretty bad on both cables, right? So now got this replacement cable from the junkyard yesterday. I'm gonna take off these brackets. Probably I might just leave that on there and just feed it from underneath the car, but my first goal is to get it over the subframe first before the floorboard. So let's do that. Okay. Okay guys, so I have the shift cables installed. I just got to put the washer and the little circlip there. The cables are zip tied every 6 inch. Big shout out to Andy for this little pro tip. And we are routed over the sway bar around the subframe. There's no crazy 90 bends. It's a long S shape now. Long S shape instead of a 90-90 how it was before. So it is clear from the drive shaft. I'll show you guys in a second. We have it routed through the floorboard there and straight into the shifter. 3rd and 4th goes in now easily, and I'm hoping that this is gonna do me well tonight, right? Yes sir. Cool. You can see right here the shift cables coming out of the floorboard going up to the subframe, and obviously right there going to the transmission shifter. The cables are zip tied to the exhaust hanger to prevent it from swinging over to the drive shaft. We do have clearance, so I don't think we'll have any issues with it touching the drive shaft. I think we're gonna be good there. I'm gonna go ahead and just button up the inside of the car, guys, and I guess we'll just see you guys at the meetup spot. So what had happened was I fell asleep, and the homie just called me and he was like, yo, where you at? Everybody's leaving the spot right now and they're jumping on the freeway. And I'm like, I'm leaving right now. You guys seen Too Fast and Furious, the scene where Ludacris called Paul Walker and he jumped into the skyline to go catch the race? That's what I'm about to do right now. So I'm pumping gas and we're done. Let's hit the freeway. on my way home right now. I might switch my cars. Man, this sucks. Literally 1 week away from track 2. But I do have a spare transmission. So I'm driving right now. I'm gonna put it in neutral and I'm gonna stick it in third. I'm gonna clutch it, fourth. Put it in neutral and then put it in third. Made me so sad, dude. So I pulled up and they were waiting for me, so I didn't really get to walk around, but we're headed back. Mostly everybody here is turbo, so I don't know what I can get in. But we'll try. We will try. Same bench that I'm sitting on when the wagon went out to Mexico a couple of weeks ago. This past weekend, I took the wagon out to Mexico again, and I was actually called out by the last car that I raced in the last video. We just kind of had a bad start, both race, and we just wanted to get a clean run in. So I was like, all right, we out. Now I did fall asleep and I kind of missed the driver's meeting, so I was like in a rush to get to the spot, but they had already hopped onto the freeway when I was getting gas, and I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna meet them right here on the freeway. So I sat for a little bit. I got the call that they were about to cross my my exit, so I hopped onto the freeway, and it just so happened to be the lead pack up in the front. So I decided to line up with them, and by the time I decided that I wanted to stick it in second gear because they weren't you know, honking yet, I stuck it in second gear, and then they took off, so I kind of punched it as well. I threw it in third for a split second. You can hear it in the video that it went into third, it revved for a little bit, and then third gear left the chat. I was like, man, maybe it popped out of gear or whatever. So as I was getting ready to line up with a second car, I believe it was like a Mustang on slicks, third gear wasn't there. And I was like, wait a second, something's wrong. Throw it in second, second is there, fourth was there, fifth was there, third was just gone. And then that's when I pulled off the freeway and headed home. Now when I got home, I picked up the KRX and I decided to kind of just join back with them, but they were kind of far up, though they did wait for me at the meetup spot. And then on the way back, I didn't really get to line up with a lot of cars because, I don't know, I feel like I was like the only all motor in the pack. Everybody else was boosted. BMW was boosted, the G35 was boosted, all the CTRs obviously were boosted, the Hellcats were obviously fast. Nobody really like lined up with me. I did downshift to kind of, you know, get the roll on, but nobody wanted to go. So I did get about 4 races in. The first car, I think it was like a BMW or whatever it was. I couldn't see, the car was black, and we ran. I got beat at the top end. The KRX put up a good fight in third into fourth. The second race that I had was between 2 CTR. It was a blue one, and then the far left lane was a silver one. The silver one supposedly was the fastest car of that night. As we were getting closer to our destination, a FG4 Civic Si with a turbo kit pulled up, and I know this guy, Saul. He's always out there at the meets and stuff, and I've seen him, you know, occasionally, but he pulled up and, you know, he gave me a thumbs up and he was like, yo, let's get it real quick. I'm like, all right, you know, we out here already. So we did our thing, and you can't really see it in the camera because the car has tinted windows and the camera was actually attached to the hatch, so the FOV wasn't really great, but I was like nose to nose with that car. Okay, 2012 Civic Si Turbo. And then the second time I ran him, which makes it the 4th race of the night, I want to say I was nose up front, if you guys watched that last clip. And then when I was in 5th gear, he pulled me on top again because it's a turbo car, and then I was close to topping out 5th already. I had to let off, but I'm not claiming win or loss. I'm just saying it was a really close match. And the crazy part is the KRX was chirping 3rd and 4th on the freeway. It's crazy. I had a blast overall with the KRX, and I was super surprised on how the car performed against a lot of these cars. Big shout out to Jeremy for the tune, man. Spot on. Car ran great all night long. Do not turbo the car. What really sucked though, coming back home the next morning, is the wagon being down because of no 3rd gear. I put a car cover over it because I didn't really want to see it, and I have to tackle this car this week after I get that CRX out of here. And I have a spare transmission that I'm going to throw into it that I've bought for the other project, which is not going to happen for a little bit. So I'm going to pull that transmission from the storage to stick it in the wagon. A couple of days from now, I am leaving to Race Wars. Actually the day before, because I'm going to test and tune first. So I got a big job ahead of me, guys, and I'm really on a time crunch right now. I didn't expect 3rd gear to just go the way it did, but it did, and that's the first for me actually. But I need to get the wagon up and going. So I just want to end this video off right here because I didn't really close it out. I hope you guys enjoy the Mexico pools, And if you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up. If you guys want to see the test and tune with the wagon, I'm hoping to get it done to go to test and tune. Otherwise, I do have slicks for the KRX, so you guys gonna have to stick around to see which one of these cars I take to the track. So if you guys want to see that, be sure to leave a thumbs up. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.